Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Fire It Up with CJ show. Today we have an incredible guest who is going to be sharing his story of recovery and health and wellness. See if I've got this down correctly. 3 years ago, you were trying to have a record for inline skating. And then what happened is you got injured as part of trying to set that record. When someone walked in front of you, you tumbled over, and you basically had a broken arm, broken hip, and shattered femur. And you were told by the doctors that you basically wouldn't be able to keep your leg potentially, which would totally freak me out, and that you also probably would never walk again. But despite these suggestions from doctors, you decided that you were going to walk. In fact, you decided that you were going to run. and you found yourself doing the Boulder 10K on crutches and a broken arm. And then you were, despite a 10 millimeter leg length discrepancy, you found yourself now running up hills barefoot. That's an incredible story. It's been a 1 year anniversary of your near-death experience, as if this other experience hasn't been enough. So tell us about, God, what are you going through right now as you're coming to the 1 year anniversary of that experience? And what was the experience?
Okay, well, what I'm going through is kind of a brain scramble. It's been one heck of a year. Last year I was out on book tour for our book Barefoot Walking, and Jesse came out to visit me on book tour. A bunch of things had been going spectacularly off. And we had this RV that just kept on dying on me on book tour, so we were getting it back to the dealership, and we were going to do the rest of the tour a different way. A week before we got it back, it died on the top of the Grand Tetons, or on top of the pass.
Oh, no.
Right after they had given us a few extra days to take the RV and have a vacation.
Oh, no!
I get off the phone, I step on the gas, I'm like, woohoo! It was nowhere. And that night, I'm posting on Facebook a picture of us on the flatbed truck with the RV broken down. So a week later, we're a day from having the RV back. We got to play in Montana at Yellowstone and Glacier National Park. We're connected to nature, supercharged. We're taking this thing back to the dealership, and Jessica's a little car sick. It's an RV. Even though it was a baby RV, she's a little car sick and green as we're taking it from Lake Tahoe towards Sacramento. And I said, hey, do you want to go for one last hike before we take this back? And it really was one last hike.
Wow.
We stopped at a place called Horsetail Falls and hiked up where you're only a couple miles in, but technically you have to get a backcountry pass. And you go up to where there's these granite stones that have been smoothed down by glaciers from millions of years ago. And there's water coming off of it, kind of looking like a horsetail. And we hiked up there. I actually went swimming beneath a snowmelt waterfall. It was
nice.
I swam in Glacier National Park the week before. This was colder, though.
Yeah.
Because it was frozen water that just stayed liquid because it kept hitting down. So I swam, got cold, got out. Jesse had me put on all my clothes to hike back to the vehicle, including a pair of non-traction leather moccasins. She just wanted me warm. She didn't want me getting sick.
Yeah, Jesse's your significant other.
My soulmate, my twin flame, my everything. What you see in our books and our DVD and this interview is in large part representative of her, because none of it would take place without her. Not a thing.
Thank you, Jesse. Okay, so you're walking back with your moccasins.
Walking back with the moccasins. At one point, I'm just overwhelmed with emotion. I hug her, give her a big kiss, and she's been wanting kids. And I said, I feel like ready to start a family.
Aww.
And then she hops down a couple rocks, hops over a little creek. I follow more slowly behind. I step into the creek with one leg, get bottom of the moccasin wet, no problem. I step out onto some sand, no big deal, and then step onto a rock, and this didn't even occur to me. With the sand under my moccasin, it stuck to the bottom. It was like standing on a rock on ball bearings.
Oh, wow.
Legs flipped out from underneath me. I went up and then somehow down. I have no idea how. and landed on a pyramid-shaped rock.
Oh my God, nightmare. Where did you land? In your head, or where were you landing?
Just below my right hip.
Oh no.
And it had been, as you described a few years earlier, it's actually 7 years earlier, I had landed on the left hip with the skating accident and exploded everything. I landed on the right, and Bugs Bunny, cartoons. You see rubbery creatures.
Yeah.
I watched most of my leg stop when it hit the rock, and the other part of it, my hip and pelvis, continue down and then spring back up.
Oh, jeez.
Where there was no joint.
Oh my God.
And
Wow.
I knew instantly, and I yelled, "Oh no, not again." And cried for Jessica to get there. She was only a few seconds away. By the time she got there, my breathing had gone shallow and almost completely stopped. The whole body was overcome with such pain it had flipped the off switch, and I went into instant, complete shock where it is. Come on, Michael. I had a choice. I had a choice of stay or go, and it was only Jessica being by my side. Only that I chose. It wasn't an easy choice. The amount of pain that I experienced with my left leg 7 years ago, something beyond description. This 10 times worse.
Oh no.
And I knew it. And the pain before was a year's worth of pain. So here I am. I've stopped now, stopped breathing. I know I'm in for the most incredible, horrendous pain of my life. I also know I'm stuck in the backcountry, and as I look down, I'm stuck in freezing cold water.
Oh my God.
So, it would have been so easy to just let go.
Yeah.
To just let go. But I looked, and Jessica's there, and I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm not going to die. I'm not going to insert an expletive or two here, die.
Right.
And I forced myself to breathe. And it was so hard because the body didn't want to breathe anymore. But my vision had gone, whoosh, and I was almost completely gone. It went like stars and gray and just
Wow.
thing in. Sort of like dusk, and I'm like, breathe, and I'm like, need energy to breathe, and I'm like looking at this beautiful sun above, and I'm like, light in, love out, light in, and I'm saying this to myself, love out, come on, breathe,
Wow.
love in, light out, love. And I fought my way to breathe, and It was over an hour before the EMTs got there.
Oh my God.
We had a whole crowd gather on this trail. It was so miraculous. At one point, I'm fighting along to sing Jimmy Cliff's "I Can See Clearly Now," trying to keep myself breathing.
Wow.
The rain is gone. I was smiling. I knew something great would come out of it. Once I started breathing, I knew I wouldn't die. The EMTs got there. They struggled to get a blood pressure on me. They couldn't give me. I'm like raw food, total vegan, no drugs, no anything. Got there. I'm like, give me the works. And they couldn't because they couldn't get my blood pressure.
Oh man.
I was dying.
Yeah.
I had lost over 50% of my blood internally.
Wow.
I didn't crack open. I cracked inward.
Oh God. Oh my God.
And so they had one helicopter to take me out. It couldn't because they couldn't get me stable. It took a second helicopter and then transferring to another helicopter. And they were scared. There's yelling going back and forth on the walkie-talkies. What do we do? The only moment of levity was, it sounds horrible, but it was really funny. They could give me one shot of morphine, and so firefighter takes off the cap and he goes, clear, and he goes like that, to get the air bubbles out. Another firefighter goes, I got hit in the eye.
Oh my God, with morphine?
Later, he's like, I got a lazy eye. And I'm going, oh, they did this just to keep me alive.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So, God, how are you feeling? I mean, that is just an incredible story. So full of emotion and just love and I don't know, love and magic. I mean, what is it like for you when you think back? It's been a year. What is it like for you?
I'm a different person. That person died on the trails.
Yeah.
So I was a good person before. But there were a lot of things that are right about that I do that I wasn't doing as genuinely as I could. My connection to nature, my ability to step back and take time for myself or for my wife, and to truly live the genuine life that we wanted to live. After that accident, I had no choice. I mean, first off, I had been go. It took me, I think it was 3.5 weeks before we got me stable enough that I could actually fly home.
Wow.
It was miraculous. I got to spend 2.5 weeks on a miracle new friend Angel's couch after I got out of the hospital. The hospital had been pushing me to get going. I knew it was much more severe than even they thought, even though they did the surgery and knew I was bleeding out. But they had no idea how bad it was until they managed to push me, and my blood values all collapsed.
Wow.
And they're talking about, will I make it? So I learned to go much, much slower. There's a sense of joy and appreciation and a really goofy laughter that's very easy to get out of me now.
Yeah.
That didn't exist before. I was a happy guy. I was extremely lucky beforehand, lucky to be alive and loved my life, but it changed me. Now, it's hard in some ways because for business, we still are being called to do a bunch of things. I'm still extremely prolific or more prolific. There's so much I want to do, and yet I have to pace myself. I have to go at a different pace or else my neck snaps back and I go, whoa. I wasn't kept alive so I can run myself into the ground.
Yeah.
And the healing has been beyond miraculous. Where I am is almost beyond words. And out of this, I've always been, I saw you're an intuitive coach yourself. I've always been an intuitive coach for healing people, but I never really focused on it. Now people, after this latest round, they're going, okay, Michael, I'm stuck. I can't get better. I can't this, I can't that. I'm stuck in pain, this, that, and the other. And it's like I'm more plugged in or something. I don't know what it is.
Right. So you kind of, when you actually had that fall, it actually opened up a whole bunch of opened up a whole way of looking at your life, opened up a whole new channels of intuition, and it sounds like created a whole new you. So you've slowed down. Yeah. How else is your life different from what it used to be?
When I lay there on the rocks, like there's a cracked open like an egg.
Yeah.
I felt like I was getting downloads. I don't know what you call them.
Yeah.
And I couldn't process any of them because I've never been in that much pain. Right. I couldn't move an inch. I couldn't even get myself back to try to get a little bit out of the water.
Yeah.
If I did, I would have died because the bones were pushing into the arteries. But now there's a deeper sense of wisdom. There's much more of a connectivity. There's a much slower pace. At times, even a bit too slow for my wife.
Yeah.
Come on, you're not even 44. I go or sitting at meditation and I see a 91-year-old, a beautiful gentleman, Gordon, sitting next to me, and I'm like, I feel like I could talk story with him now, like the wisdom that is taking place.
So do you think was it wisdom that you remember, or you just had this sense that some kind of wisdom and knowledge that you don't have now was downloaded to you?
Great question. I think it was more, you're driving in a car in a snowstorm or something, and the window's fogged up, and then you go, and you can see more clearly. It's been there all along, but I can see it.
Well, so you got a vision adjustment, like your life vision changed.
Yes,
Wow.
which is so ironic because when I had been swimming in the creek right before this happened,
Yeah.
or swimming in, it was like a water hole. I had on a pair of glasses with me, and they had fallen off in the water. It was so cold I couldn't swim down and get it.
Wow.
So I'd been walking back. I can see well enough to walk without glasses on, but I had lost my glasses.
Wow,
So-
that's fascinating. Okay, so there's a bunch of questions in the chat room. What was the healing process later like? Because you said, people at the hospital just assumed you were better, and you were laying on your friend's an angel's couch for healing. How long did it take you to heal from those things, and how does it? Aside from, it doesn't sound like even there are restrictions, but have there been any physical limitations and things that you can't do anymore as a result of that?
Nothing I can't do, but my pace on some things is still limited. First, the biggest challenge, number one, was I had lost so much blood.
Yeah.
And they gave me enough transfusions, I think it was 4, might have been 5, but I think 4, to get me stable. But then they wanted, what happened is people tried to get me moving, and they didn't know that I still had extremely low blood values. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't have enough oxygen just to lay down, let alone to sit up.
Yeah. Wow.
And they're saying, we got to get you crutching down the hall or you'll stiffen up and you'll never get loose. And I'm like, nobody is more driven than me. I'm telling you, I don't want horizontal right now.
Right.
Forget about getting me down the hall. I don't want any of it.
Yes, exactly.
So, but I also didn't want any more transfusions.
Yeah.
Because I knew my body, and I knew if we could get me stable, which I was, I could bring it back. And each transfusion is a risk, albeit a small risk.
Right.
And so I wanted to do it on my own. That meant a couple months of, starting day number 1, Jessica got a blender in at the hospital, Barton Memorial Hospital. I owe them the greatest thanks in Lake Tahoe. She got a blender in from them. She's starting me on green smoothies and beet smoothies, filled with iron to get my red blood cell count up. And it was a good 2 months before I really had enough blood to be able to sit upright on the couch.
Oh my gosh.
Without completely spinning all the time.
Wow.
So things were healing, but I got to be great friends with my couch. We weren't on a first name. I didn't even know its last name beforehand. Now you can see the couch. Part of my life, part of my family.
Okay, what were you thinking on the couch? Was it just, I can't think about anything about healing, or is it like, wow, like was there any profound thoughts, or is it just more like, I gotta heal?
Life is good. Life is great. It's all going to work out. And you get $100,000 bill in here and a $20,000 bill in there, and you're like,
oh, no.
I have no idea, but life is good. Life is great. It's going to work out. I'm still here. And I was so incredibly thankful, and never been more grateful for having my wife in my life. Not just because she was the only reason I survived and she's caretaking me, but I realized the importance of having her there. What I had this time, either from my previous accident, because it turns out, I didn't mention this, they're identical in terms of the fracture and hardware. I have 2 matching, they call it 1 in infinity chance according to the doctors, 2 matching titanium femurs, 2 matching titanium hips, and matching hardware to hold it all together. So I'm a walking titanium tuning fork.
Wow. Well, I guess did you get your 10 millimeter discrepancy fixed?
It's actually a full inch discrepancy, and it's gone, yes.
Well, that's one benefit.
Before surgery, I asked, it was like the one question I got to ask. I'm like half with it. I'm like, hey, doc, after the last operation, my left leg got an inch longer. Is my right leg going to get longer? I was like, no, we try to do things here with a proper method. It turned out perfect. I'm balanced.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're
sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
And I now had, because I'd been through something like this before, and because of what was going on, a knowing that the most important thing to do was to relax into it, and everything would take care of itself. We have a book now, A Return to Perfect Health. We just got it back from our editor. And in that book, we talk about how the key to healing is to get your stress level down. Because if your stress is down, the body knows how to heal itself. It's when you panic, it's when you worry, it's when you tighten up, you can't do that. And so I was totally relaxed. It's going to heal better than I ever expected. And because of that, it has.
Right. So in some ways, what you did is you focused your mind out on the outcome, and you kept yourself positive throughout the whole thing, and you didn't get stressed out, and the outcome that you were thinking of has occurred.
It connected the dots for me.
Yeah.
My total health was always completely there. I just had to wait it out. Now, wait it out didn't just mean sitting on the couch. There's lots of exercises I did. There's some video Jesse has of me laying on the bed on my belly. What's on my belly? It might have been my back. My legs are going on the bed after a few months after I could start moving. She's like, what in the world are you doing? I'm like, I'm running up a hill. It's a really big hill. I'm kind of winded and out of breath. And so I was doing these visualization work. And
those are critical because they've actually done studies where they've had people playing the piano in their mind, and they actually have the same abilities as people who've been playing piano, actually playing piano. So, hey, why not? So you're running and you're practicing all the different physical exercises in your mind. And do you think it helped?
Oh, absolutely. It was working the muscles. It was getting my bloodstream or getting my blood flow going.
Yeah.
It was, if you go there in the mind, you go there in the body, or the body will follow. And so by showing it these runs, and it was difficult. Even in my mind, it's difficult doing these runs.
Yeah.
And so my body is trying to figure out, okay, what do we do to get stronger for the next run?
Right. Wow.
And so it was figuring out how to connect the dots. And so I did lots of visualization work. I also did work where I'm focusing light on the fracture site, because that's been shown under, what is it, PET scans, the scans that show increased blood flow. You focus on an area, you get increased blood flow there. And so by focusing light there, I'm pumping in more blood, helping it to heal. So I was having fun with this. It was, it was painful,
leave it to you to make it a scientific exploration of your body.
Pretty much. And that's what we do with our books, is we try to break down, how are we supposed to move? How are we supposed to heal? And so I was, in a sense, having fun with it. I'm stuck on the couch. I might as well settle in and enjoy the ride.
Wow. Okay, so
and never, ever, ever again. And that's where my kind, gentle, easy, good comes in. You know, if somebody says, I'm bored, would you like a little excitement? I'm like, duck. And then I say, whatever's coming for me is great. Kind, gentle, easy, good. Kind, gentle, easy, good.
So what does that mean to you? Kind, gentle, easy, good. Are these your now life mottos?
In a sense it is, because what it means is thoughts are things, anything we say, we can manifest in our lives. And so if we say, I want to move to South America, I want to see Machu Picchu, I want the greatest bestseller in the world, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You have to ask for these things with a sense of parameters and specificity around you that keeps you safe. Because we can literally move everything moves at the speed of light. We're just flickering little particles is what our human body is. And so if we ask for things and can get it instantly, we could be in trouble if that's not exactly what we wanted. Like if somebody says, I want a new job.
You lose your other job. That's not what I was thinking.
I want a new job. Be kind, go gentle on me, gentle, easy. I want to find that new job easily and good for my highest purpose, for my self. So you put some safety parameters in there. So whatever takes place is kind on you, is gentle, is easy. You're not swimming upstream. That is one of the huge things that I learned from this whole experience, and is good for you.
So now you're saying to the universe, God, whomever, you're saying, okay, I want to learn, and that was a big learning. But next time, just make it kind, gentle, easy, good.
Yeah.
Don't crack me open like an egg. Yeah. Don't crack me open like an egg, or have me have a gigantic, problem with from the inline skating. Just kind, gentle, easy, good.
Exactly.
I like that. And what's nice is that you're not trying to manifest it, but usually when people are trying to manifest something, or like, please make me healthy, you're just saying, hey, I'm fine with taking whatever orders you have to give me, just please, under these parameters.
Exactly. And I also truly believe that we are all healthy in the inside. It's just, how do we bring that out? And so if we have that belief and we move kind, gentle, easy, good, we get our stress levels down, we work on our nutrition, we work on each aspect of our lives, but we do it gently. You do that, you will return to perfect health, but you got to do it gently.
Okay, so I have an earlier question from someone in the chat room, and I would say that when I talked to my husband about having kids, he had a reaction, not quite the same reaction as yours, but what are you thinking now? Are you guys thinking about? Are you still thinking about kids? Was that put on hold?
Yeah, there's not a day goes by where Jesse's not going, baby.
So it's still out there. It's still
We're going to be planning very shortly.
Yeah.
So I'd be very surprised if 2 years, maybe less. She's off screen. I'm wondering what she's thinking.
Right.
we will. We all say we want a certain amount of stuff in order first.
Yeah.
And if we wait for everything to be in order, it'll never be in order, because life isn't order.
Yeah.
We aren't driving the ship.
Yeah.
So, like we've got a project or two that'd be good to get through first, and then I think it's time. And I'm waiting a little bit to be as healthy as I possibly can be, because a lot of energy. I'm a year out. This is a 2-year recovery.
Yeah. Wow.
At least it is a 2-year recovery if you truly, absolutely, completely believe you're going to recover.
Right.
If not, this is an injury where you're down for life.
Wow.
The last injury, which wasn't as substantial, they wanted to move me to a rehab hospital. Actually, they did. I escaped like 2 days later. Where they wanted to keep me for 2 months, basically a nursing home. Wow. And this is more severe of an injury. So a lot of my system resources, like a computer with a lot of windows open, is still going into the healing of the body.
Yeah.
Now, I'm riding my bicycle great. I'm jogging lightly. I'm hiking great. I'm swimming fantastically. It is truly an incredible miracle. But I'm still more tired.
Yeah.
And there's a little fuzzy brain, particularly towards the end of the day. Jesse would say a lot of fuzzy brain.
Right.
Because a lot of my resources are going into healing the physical body.
Yeah, and you want that to happen. I mean, who cares if you have a fuzzy brain? I mean, right? You need to heal. So we actually have Michael Sandler, who's the author of these 2 books, Barefoot Walking and Barefoot Running. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing a story, beautiful story of recovery, healing, and faith. Beautiful.